Hello guys, welcome back. In this section we are going to be working on the update. Continuing on our CRUD, we had the read and create already. So the next step will be creating one view or the whole process to handle the update and new object. Okay, so let's get started. From the very beginning, let's go to the URLs. I will duplicate that and then I'll do update. When we are updating one object, you you need to pass the ID, because we are going to update one specific object. So we can and we need to pass the user ID. So let's call that ID. As we saw, that's the way to define that we're going to receive one parameter into our URL. Okay, so update in the client ID. Okay, and we're gonna call the function update. Okay, as well, I didn't tell you, but you can put a slug. We can put a name for every URL, and we're going to do this now because it will be helpful for us in the future. Let's call this URL client update, for example. Okay, and for this one, let's call that client create. You can put the name that you want, and this, let's put name and client list, and that's it. Okay, so now all our URLs have names defined. So let's import the client update, and as well now we need to define this function. Let's create that request, and remember that now this function will receive one ID with the client ID. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do to update an object is get this object from the database. For that, we're going to use one function, get with Django provides us out of the box as well. That's called get object or 404. Okay, this function will be handing because it will try to get the object. If not, it did not found it. Instead of raising an error or whatever, it will raise 1404. Okay, so we'll give an appropriated response to the user. So I will put in the object, or I can call client get object or 404. We can see what's the model that we want to recover. So it's client, and then we can pass the pk equal id. So pk is the primary key from the user that we want to get, and id will be the parameter that we are passing here. Okay, so now we have the client already, and for the rest of it will be pretty much the same thing as we did here in the Django in the create. Okay, the only difference will be this one. Once we have the client, uh, we will create a form with the request post, request file, or none, but we can pass one instance to the user, to the form. So the instance will be client. So the form, instead of initiating like empty or with none, instead we're going to instantiate the form with the instance of one pre-existing client from the database. So we get the client and we try to create a new form with this instance. Okay, the rest of it will be when the user clicks saves, and then I will get the new information for posts and for files, and I will do the same. I validate the form, create save, it's valid, and I will redirect to the client list. But if the form is not valid, I will give the form back to the user with the form inside the context. Yes, pretty much this. It's not like there is no complicated thing that we should be looking to. Okay, so let's see if it works. How did we call the URL? Because I don't remember. So it's update and the ID. So let's go back there, clients, update, and then the ID one. Look, so the form just opened the page. Sorry, the Django just opened the page with the form already instantiated into Mary client with all the information already set up. Very easy peasy, no guys. So let's try to update the name. For example, I'll do Mary's, and then I'll click save, and here we go. We have Mary Silva already updated. Let's try for another one, like number 2 probably will be Pedro. So Pedro doesn't have one email, so try to put one email for Pedro. Let's go here first in the Django admin. Let's open up Pedro. Let's make sure that he doesn't have an email. We need to include that in the admin because it's not listed there. So let's include email right here, like this, and then refresh the page. We can see that Pedro doesn't have an email, so let's include b@b.com and click save. Here we go. Here we cannot see any difference because we're listing just the name, but if we refresh here, we can see that Pedro now has the information saved into the database. That's very nice thing to do. No guys, so with this, what we did was we could update the information, but it's not very nice being like the user would not type update in the client ID into the URL. So that's a not like nice way to do this. What we can do is we can go here in clients and we can provide one like a paragraph or an extra link, for example like this. Let's put this guy here inside a paragraph, okay, and this one too, and after that we can include a link, okay. And for this link we can create, we can put like edit to edit the client, and then we can call one template template tag called URL, okay. So Django will create one URL and will provide this URL for our link, and this URL that we'll call is the we're going to call that by the name that we put here. So we want to call the client update. That's why we named all this URL, because now it will be helpful for us. So we put client name. If I'm not wrong, it should be between quotes. Let's check it out, and then it will need the ID. If you look here, this URL expected one ID, so we can put this ID like this, client.id, because here we have client, okay, and client ID. And okay, let's see. We have a problem here with the quotes. I will single quotes here because I'm using double quotes already for this one. Okay, save. And that's it. Let's see if it is working fine. When I do refresh, now I have the edit button. If you have a look here, right button in the corner, when I pass the mouse over the links, we can see that we have the clients, update, and the ID. Look, everyone now we have one URL already ready for that. So if I click here to edit client one, here we go. Automatically we have the client open up and all the form already working for us. If I click saved, instead of client 1, now I have client 10. Okay guys, so it's very easy way to do the linking for update on object. Okay, so I think it's will be this for this class. I hope you have implemented this on your machine. I hope it is working fine. But if, as you know, if you have any query, if you have any doubt, put the comment down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and get ready for the last part of our CRUD. That will be the delete. Okay, so see you next time, guys. Bye bye.